Sup guys, it's your boy. Sup guys, it's your boy Justin here with another game review. Today we're reviewing the 2012 action JRPG Ys Memories of Celceta, which was developed by Nihon Falcom and was initially published by Xseed Games. I'm reviewing the PS Vita version of the game, but the game was re-released on PS4 and PC. Like, you can get the game on Steam. So, the game is actually a remake of the 1993 game Ys for Mask of the Sun, which is an item in the game that doesn't show up till like near the end of the game, which the game normally goes for like 15 hours, 20 hours to beat. It took me like 30 hours to beat this game, mostly because I like to do all the side quests, even though there's one side quest I couldn't do because I couldn't find all the ingredients that the guy wanted. So I was like, screw it, I'm near the end of the game. So yeah, the story for this game is actually pretty interesting. It has a pretty cool mystery plot, which the game, like all the Ys games, I think after the first two, from what I know, I'm kind of a casual of this franchise. Is that you have the main characters, Adol Christian, who is an adventurer who chronicles all of his adventures and books. So like the beginning of the game is like him retelling the events of his experiences in Celceta, right? Which the game starts off with Adol is amnesiac who lost his memories is found in Kaznan, which is this frontier town, mining town that borders this huge forest called the Great Forest of Celceta, where he's found by his friend Durin, that's Durin right there, who decides to help Adol to go back to the Great Forest of Celceta to find out what happened to him and how he lost his memories. Which your main character Adol gets a job from the Roman army, which is led by this governor Grissada, who gives Adol the job of mapping out the Great Forest of Celceta, which is pretty cool because as you explore the forest, the percentage will go up, and when you go back to report your findings, you get money. So, which was pretty good because making money in the game is kind of sucks until you get certain equipment. Which the game is gameplay wise, it's like a top down action adventure game, very similar to the Diablo games and like Champions of Norath, which is like with how with the gameplay, which is funny because I know like reviewers who hate like Diablo style, but it's okay when Ys does it, which is I don't know, I don't get that. But yeah, what's cool about this game is that as you explore the different regions of Celceta, which you can start off in two different places where you can recruit either this character here or another character who wields a spear. She wields like hunting knives that she throws at enemies. Which as you level up, you can also level up your skills and your battle skills, which will level up and get stronger and unlock newer attack skills, which you have a special attack, which you use using pressing the L button, which can deplete and will eventually gradually like restore itself. But like, holy crap, it takes so long that you pretty much want to save it till for the boss fights or the very big enemies in the game that will roam around, which you can also collect materials like plant material or stone material from like lodestones, which you can like get like materials to upgrade weapons or to craft potions. So, and there are certain points of the game you'll unlock like side quests. But the main plot of the game is your character is exploring the great forest of Celceta and finding all these like tribes of people, clans have lived in isolation, and to the point where there's one town that's basically has this like has advanced technology and they may or may not have come from the founder of the city may or may not have come from the lost continent of Atlantis, which for people who don't know, Yeast does not take place in a fantasy world. It's basically like ancient history. Very similar to Conan the Barbarian, which is kind of cool. Yeah. And what does bother me though, the story kind of starts off as this casual like adventure, but then turns into, oh, we have to save the world from this threat, which I kind of didn't like that. But it's these are like epic, or I guess these are epic RPGs. I thought they were casual fun adventure games. But it is what it is. But yeah, but I don't mind it too much. But it does get crazy. Where like one enemy in the game is like a dude who's like a cyborg kinda, and he transforms into this demon and he shoots like missiles at you, and I'm like, what the hell? First off, they had like cannons, and like their Roman version of their version of the Roman army had cannons, which is like, what the hell? But then we had like a guy who had missiles, which was shooting missiles at you. That was a little far fetched, but whatever. It does kind of get sci-fi like near the end though. But yeah. I did enjoy the game. I like the mystery plot, and though the game, I played the game like on and off for a few months. Thank God, near the end of the game, where we learned like Duran's backstory, they recapped the story. But yeah, let's go to my likes and dislikes for the game. Fun, fast-paced combat, easy to grind. There are side quests. There's great exploration in the game. There's a nice mystery plot. Lots of party members in the game. You basically, because the enemies are weak to certain weapon types, slashing, piercing, and blunt weapons. So you have like 2 party members per weapon style, basically. So like you got 2 people with slashy weapons, Adol and this female character. You have Duran, who uses fists. One female character has a mace. The girl on the cover has piercing weapons or throwing knives, and you have a guy who has a spear. So yeah, there's crafting and lots of weapons. There's a Mishi cameo from the Trails of Cold Steel games, and there was a Lord of the Rings reference near the end of the game. Dislikes: I hate games with puzzles, because certain I wouldn't call this puzzles, but yeah, there is a puzzle near the end. But the game can get kind of puzzly, not puzzly, but like confusing how to advance next in the game, and that's because there are late game puzzles, but there's also the thing where like you need certain artifacts in the game that will unlock certain abilities, like shrinking, so you can go through tiny tunnels, or there's like these like there's certain characters have like special abilities where they can energize, these like pedestals, or like get rid of like these geysers that will block your entry or stuff like that, where you need like certain special certain party members or certain artifacts with special powers to advance through the game. Uh, Lots of late game party members, like literally a girl, like the girl with the halberd, who joins your game, joins your party late game, like, and there's like she joins your party like when there's like only 5 hours, less than 5 hours left of the game. So it's like I really hate when games do that, when they introduce like late game party members, because it's like you should, like, in my opinion, everybody who's supposed to join the party should join the party halfway through the game. But by the halfway point. So by the time you get to the end of the game, you pretty much, got to like know all the characters, right? But like, yeah, so that annoys the crap out of me. There's this character called Commander Leo, who's supposed to be this incompetent commander who has these two bumbling, like, henchmen, who's competing with your party to map out Celceta. And by the end of the game, you find out that he's actually a competent swordsman. And it was all basically like, an act. Why was it an act? Why was this guy pretending to be this not bumbling idiot, but this bumbling aristocratic, noble, when he was a competent, like, officer and he was a good swordsman? You never find out why that was the case. Like, I don't know. So also, I wasn't a fan of the 3D character models. They kind of looked bad, honestly. But that's a nitpick. Adel's character portrait doesn't match his character model, to the point where, like, it actually on the cover it matches, but in the character portrait you see, he doesn't have the armor on his arms. So it's like kind of weird, like, why that was the case, but whatever, right? That's a nitpick. Which his character model looks cooler, but yeah, like in the character portrait, his outfit wise, but yeah, it matches more with what he looks like on the cover. Yeah. So my final score for this game is a 6 out of 10. It's a fun, short game on handheld. If you want to play it on PS4 or, like, PC, yeah, you can do that. But as a handheld game, it was a fun game. But, like, I forgot to mention my final critique. The game has this very abrupt ending. Like, after you save the world and you defeat the bad guy, the game just ends with your main. So it's like obviously, to the point where, like, obviously he regained all of his memories, which there are points to the game where, like, on the map where you can see where you can encounter, like, Adel's memories, and you get flashbacks, right? But, like, by the end of the game, he hadn't, like, got all of his memories back. So it's like, at least from what I can remember, I don't think he did get all of his memories back. So it's like, wow, so we just, like, ended the game before we find out if he regained all of his memories? But whatever. Obviously he did, or he wouldn't, be able to write all of his memoirs, right? After he retired as an adventurer. That it would have been nice that for him, after you defeat the bad guy, for him and the party members to get back together, to have one good goodbye or whatever before he goes on his next adventure. But yeah, that is a nitpick. But not the abrupt ending, but that was, because it basically he gets, like, he saves the world, gets saved by another side character. And they fly away, and then you see the chronicles, the book that the story is written in. So it's like, what the hell? But other than that, fun, you know, it's a fun short action, JRPG, but yeah, it's like it doesn't have an in-depth story or characters, and the dialogue is kind of bad at times, which you can't just like. I played enough Falcom games to you can't just blame it on the localization, man. These games have anime tier dialogue. Not to say all anime dialogue is bad. There's anime with good dialogue, like in Death Note, Sugary Death Frenzy. Trying to think of what was Ergo Proxy. I would say there are animes with good dialogue. What's the one anime I'm thinking of? Oh my god, it's I forget what it's called. It was in my top 10 non-mecha / shonen anime list. No, it was in my top 10 mecha anime. I forget. I forget the name, but it was pretty. Infinite Rylus. That was the name of that anime. But yeah, I think if you enjoy, if you enjoyed I would say Tales of Games or Star Ocean games. Like you like the combat in those games, you'll probably like the combat here. But other than that, yeah, it's a decent game, but don't go expecting it's a masterpiece, because the Yeast fanboys and the Trails of fanboys love to overhype Falcom games. They're good, decent games, okay, but they're not masterpieces, okay. Just so that's it for this review, guys. Our next review is going to be Star Ocean Till the End of Time, which won't be till God knows when next month. Which actually, by the time I upload this, it's going to be February anyway. So it's going to be sometime in February. Alright guys, that's it for this review, guys. Peace.